Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I'm the best reporting on the Eagles. Y'all already know the vibes. So we get into the meat and potatoes. Make sure y'all tap in, get all your merch, Hurt Season merch. 22 bird shirt, jumping out the gym. I got something special that I'm cooking up to. I got something else for y'all. You already know, man. So the Philadelphia Eagles, get some solid cornerback depth in the form of Greedy Williams from the Cleveland Browns. Former second round pick. A lot of people liked Greedy when he was coming out of LSU. I'm talking about in the Eagles community. A lot of people wanted to draft Greedy Williams. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't remember being that high on him. But in this situation right here, this works out for the Philadelphia Eagles in ways that I can't even describe. You got to think about it, man. Josiah Scott was on the field way too much. I'd rather much have Greedy Williams on the field in situations like that. After Slay and after Bradbury, thank God that they were healthy. You know what I mean? For the most part of the season or the whole season. You know what I mean? Thank God that those guys were healthy at the age that they are at right now. You know what I mean? Greedy Williams, he has experience being a starter. You know what I mean? He had a career that's kind of, riddled with injuries. You know what I mean? But the upside to Greedy Williams, who's only 25, turns 26 in December. He won't be turning 26 until 6 games in this thing or something like that. So, the upside and potential is there for Greedy Williams, who will now have the opportunity to learn from guys like Slay, Bradbury, Maddox. Our new coach will probably be able to bring him on. It's kind of a shame that we lost our defensive back coach, Denard Wilson. Everybody was so high on Denard Wilson. This would have been a perfect situation for Greedy. But you're coming around all pros, you know what I mean, in the cornerback room. You're coming around a solid group of veterans who's going to be able to bring you along. You're also going to be practicing against Devontae Smith, you know what I mean, A.J. Brown and those guys, and still sharp and still, man. You know how that works. So, I'm excited to see what he could bring to the table in terms of depth. When you look at our schedule coming up this season, you see we got the Chiefs. You see we got the Bills. You see we got the San Francisco. We got a number of teams that got weapons and that can stretch the field, and it's always good to have depth at the cornerback position. I think Howie Roseman, in a way, is telling us some of the concerns that he had last season. So you know what I mean? This Greedy Williams signing and the signing of Darius Slay, well, the extension of Darius Slay, by the way. You know what I mean? We got Darius Slay for up until the 2025 season, I believe. I think he's in between that time. He's getting around $14 million a year. So how we did some restructuring / extending. Slay was due to get 26 this year, but we extended him out and gave him a longer contract for $14 million a year. You know what I mean? And I think it's a fair deal for Darius, man. You know what I mean? I'm happy for Slay. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for Greedy Williams to be learning from these guys. It's an amazing time, for the cornerback room. I don't think we've ever had a cornerback room this stacked, this solid with Maddox, with Slay, Bradbury, Greedy Williams. That's a real solid cornerback room right there. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles are looking at the opponents coming up, and we're looking at, what we need to do to best be prepared for any firefights that we may have to endure. This doesn't close the door on Gardner Johnson. I'm kind of weirded out by the Gardner Johnson thing because I feel like maybe his market is slowing down. I don't know what the case may be, but he still ain't on nobody else's team. So it leads me to believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are trying to get the numbers right. They're trying to make something happen. I believe Gardner Johnson definitely going to give them the opportunity to match or whatever the case may be. But if you could do it, you got to do it. That's the last domino that got to fall. You know what I mean? Is you grabbing Gardner Johnson, then you signing Jalen Hurts. I know you got money for that. You know what I mean? But this is the domino that has to fall. It got to be done. I'm all aboard the Greedy Williams train. I like what we did with Slay in terms of restructuring him. A lot of people keep saying we losing everybody, but I look around and say, where we losing people at? You know what I mean? But let me know what y'all think in the comments about the moves that was just made. You know what I mean? I feel like we tooling up and we getting ready. You know what I mean? We getting ready for whatever got to come for us next year.